From Chicago streets to the courts beat, Sal Scott Dan on the podcast seat. Bulls breaking news, talking stats and views. Every player, every play, we never lose. Horns over hoops, we're the Bulls troop. From game analysis to fan scoop.
What is good, Horniac Nation and Bulls fans worldwide, and welcome back to another exciting episode of the Horns Over Hoops podcast. We are your hosts for the evening, Sal Bass and Scott Berman. Dan Gracie is not here. He's on vacation. Dan Gracie saw that there's going to be about 9 to 12 inches of snow in the city of Chicago, and he said, you know what, I'm just going to go on a tropical cruise. So the man took his lovely wife on their first honeymoon, finally. They've been married a couple years now, and they finally went on their honeymoon. So kudos to Dan Gracie for not being here when it's below freezing out. But good luck to shoveling your snow. That's all I'm going to say, because there's at least 12 inches of snow out there. But we're on our own cruise. We this episode is our own cruise, and joining us on this cruise is one half of the Shy Bulls podcast, one of my favorite podcasts to listen to, Bobby from Shy Bulls podcast, one half of the KOGNACBOYZ. We tried having C-Dub on here. Technical difficulties would not allow it, but we're grateful to have Bobby on. Bobby, how you doing, fella?
Doing good. I guess they ain't want too much fire hitting the airways at the same time. Maybe overheated. Maybe overheat the systems. But appreciate you, Sal, for bringing us on, and good to be on with you, Scott, as well. Good meeting you, man. Been rocking with you guys for a while now. And, man, I'm happy to be here to talk some Bulls, even though they can give me a major, major headache. But I've been saying it all weekend. After the Bears got the victory on Friday, no one, including the Chicago Bulls, will steal my joy.
Yeah, at least we got the Bears. Us Chicago fans, we need the small victories.
Right.
I said it on one of our previous episodes that we came to realization that the Chicago Bulls are the only team in the 2000s to not make a finals appearance in the city of Chicago. We had the Bears in 04 and 06, the White Sox in 05, or the Cubs just won it. The Sky just won it. The Blackhawks have been winning it. I don't really follow the Fire too much, but I'm sure they've been doing it. But
Right.
Bulls have not made a finals appearance
We have to
in
be
the
better, bro.
2000s. We do. Thanks for joining us, Bobby. I really appreciate it. I follow you guys' stuff. They do a really good breakdown of the game. They do live commentary, and their post-game show is second to none, man. They really do a good job over there, which is why I pop in and check it out every single time they record. So, Bobby, before we get into the show, man, I know we know about you. Go ahead and let the fans know who you are and what KOGNACBOYZ and Shy Bulls are all about.
Man, I'm Bobby from Shy Bulls podcast. Also find me on Chicago Bears Central, NFL Central, sometimes NBA Central. Just a guy that really just loves sports, man. Football, that's my bread and butter. I love football, but I also have a love for basketball as my second favorite sport in the world. I'm all about Chicago. I do not believe that if you was born in Chicago, you should root for anything outside of Chicago. So it's always weird when we see Chicago people talking about they want to represent the green and yellow. It's so sickening to me. But I got into podcasting with me and my Uncle C-Dub. And it basically just started as simple back and forth debates on his front porch. And then one day he just called me up like, man, we should really, really just go out there and just start a podcast. And 4 years later, still here and having a lot of fun. And it's just good to interact with good people, because sports is one of the best things ever, because it can bring people from so many backgrounds together, regardless of how you grew up, what you think, or whatever. Sports is just one of those things that brings people together.
I hear that, man. That's whoever's idea. C-Dub had a great idea, because you guys put on a damn good show, man. I'm telling you guys, if you guys aren't subscribed, do yourselves a favor. Of course, I don't got to tell you, everybody is probably already subscribed, because you guys have your voice out there, and it's a good product. Yep. So, Scotty B, don't think I forgot about you over there, fella. How you doing, man? Are you staying warm? You didn't shovel your driveway already, did you?
I went out there twice yesterday, so I still got to go out later today and finish before it freezes.
Nice. Before we get in the show, are you guys like the ones that like will wait a couple inches and then shovel, or are you just like doing it all at once it stops?
I learned a hard lesson in life. Don't wait. Don't wait. I learned that from my granddad early on. I used to always wonder why he would go out there multiple times throughout the night. And then, let's just say I waited too long one time, and it was back-breaking work, and I don't want to do that again.
Yeah, Were you shoveling for like the Snowmageddon that was not that long ago, actually, a few years back. Snowmageddon, there was like 20 something inches overnight. It was wild.
It was terrible. It was terrible.
Yep.
And I'm not a tall guy, so it's terrible.
Those are times where I'm grateful I live in a townhome, man. They just come by, do it, and I'd sip my coffee and watch them do it.
Yeah, see,
They
that's
probably
good.
hate me. Poor guys out there freezing. I got my coffee. How you doing?
How you doing, man? You have a good one. Stay safe and stay warm out there.
Absolutely. Well, Bobby, since you're joining us, thank you so much for being on. We like to start every episode with a game of Tuesday trivia. It's nothing special. It's just a quick little trivia question to get the juices going and talk sports. This question was prepared for you and C-Dub together because in the many, many takes that we tried to get this working, for whatever reason, due to some equipment failure, we couldn't have the privilege of having both of you on here. But you guys, the Jordan and the Pippen of the podcast game, which is very, very fitting. And I wholeheartedly agree. No. We appreciate your product. But this trivia question comes because we mentioned Jordan and Pippen. Do you happen to know, you and Scott, how many combined wins Jordan and Pippen had while wearing the Chicago Bulls uniform? How many total wins they tallied up for the Chicago Bulls?
Combined
wins.
I say 500, 600. I don't know. Am I close?
You are. Wow, that is really close. Scotty B, you want to stab it?
What year was Pippen drafted?
I believe in 93 or 90s. No, I'm sorry.
No, he was before 93.
Yeah.
89 or 90, 91. He was on all 6 championships. So
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, probably around like 550, 570, something like that.
So just regular season wins, Jordan and Pippen racked up 514 total wins for the Chicago Bulls. And as we all know, accumulated 6 NBA titles, proudly displayed behind Bobby's on that banner behind Bobby there.
There.
That at this point just looks like a distant goal and something that Chicago Bulls fans will never see again, but we have that. So that was Tuesday trivia. Gentlemen, speaking of the Bulls, we've had a string of bad luck lately. We opened the season up 5-0. It rejuvenated the love of basketball in the city of Chicago. I saw fans that had stopped watching basketball since Derrick Rose start watching basketball again. It was a beautiful thing. And then since then, we've lost, we've lost 9? We're 9-10. We fell below 500 for the first time since the beginning of the season. We're all wondering what the hell is going on. So, Bobby, real quick, when we get it, let's get into the main idea of the show, and that is what is wrong with the Chicago Bulls right now. If there's anything that stood out to you overall as a group in the last few games here.
A team that came in with belief, they have no belief anymore. It's just my theory. I've had people say it could be true or they don't necessarily believe it, but it's my theory. When you, as a head coach, Billy Donovan, reprimands everybody, all the young guys, but don't reprimand Nikola Vucevic when he plays terrible defense, it's a bad sign for me. And then the Chicago Bulls, they lost their game versus the Detroit Pistons. Instead of keeping things in-house, you literally go to the podium and tell the NBA world, we're not talented enough. Like at that moment, we looked at it and we said, okay, Billy Donovan, he's speaking truth. But then when we go on a little bit longer, the Bulls win a 1-point game versus the Washington Wizards. You got guys celebrating. Nikola Vucevic is at the mic. And they're like, yeah. And he was like, come on, man, be happy. And Nikola Vucevic would not be happy and then went on to call this group soft. So there's a lack of leadership, in my opinion. I understand, like, sometimes you want to keep it real. You want to be honest all the time. But sometimes, especially with a young group of guys like this, you have to keep things in-house. That's just my opinion on it. Like I said, maybe I could be, veering off too far one way or another. But I also believe that this group, before they came into the season, they talked about building chemistry. They talked about going to the playoffs from Ayo Dosunmu. And then you hear your leaders, one in your veteran leader, call you soft, and then one in your head coach who was preaching all offseason toughness, physicality, and pushing through. But then you just said that they're not talented enough to push through. So you broke these guys down. Now you have to figure out how you can build these guys back up because they don't have belief that they can win basketball games right now.
Beautiful. I wholeheartedly agree with that because at the beginning of the season when we went 5-0, I'm like, damn, are we ever going to lose a game? And now here we are almost 20 games in, and I'm like, are we ever going to win another game? So
right?
Polar opposite. Scotty B, what did you notice?
I didn't even know Billy said that about we weren't the talent, but you could kind of see it in how Vooch has been playing. He's either not in the game or he's just pissed at everybody where he's like, why is no one else trying? Why is everybody making these stupid plays? Like he'll give up halfway through the game. I think the Heat game, he had 4 rebounds. How are you out there the whole game being the tallest man on the court with 4 rebounds?
Yeah. I was with you, Bobby, because like when that interview happened, I couldn't believe that it was happening on live TV on an interview. You know what I mean? Like that's usually some stuff you read about in the paper the next day. Like, oh, by the way, there was some locker room problems, but Vooch kind of voiced it to the air. Now, I do commend what he did, but I do feel like maybe he could have worded and done it a little differently because anytime you call your teammates out, you're either putting a target on you or you're breaking them down, like you said, Bobby. Now, if he wanted to go about it a little, maybe he could have been like, yeah, you know what? A victory is good. However, I feel like this team is better than just a 1-point lead. You know what I mean? Because I'm not a big fan of looking at a team and saying like, they only won 1 game. This team sucks. We should have beat them by more. I feel like that's poor sportsmanship, but definitely Vooch should have been like, we're way too good of a team to be playing this hard to get these victories. You know what I mean? But instead, he kind of rather rudely, like he even pushed him away. Like Jalen Smith was like, be happy. And he's like, no, man, move. You know what I mean? I could not believe what I was seeing. And like I said, I do have the respect for Vooch for calling him out. But at the same time, in the state of our team right now, it maybe was a little bit too over the top.
I agree.
You mentioned Billy, Bobby. You mentioned Billy, and all throughout his tenure here, his coaching status has been up in the air. Should we get rid of him? Should we keep him? We won those 5 games, so now we kind of said, okay, Billy's okay. Has that changed? Do you still want Billy gone? Do you think at this point he burned the bridge, or do you think that it's just a rough patch?
I think Billy Donovan is not a terrible coach. I just don't think he's good enough with young talent. That's just my personal opinion because I look at a situation with Montes Buzelis. Montes Buzelis entered this season with the expectations of taking a second-year leap. It seemed to like it was going to go that way at the start of the season, but ever since then, he's stalling out. And I respect Billy Donovan when he, wants to coach Montes Buzelis hard and say, all right, you're not doing what we're expecting you to do. Go have a seat on the bench. But where are the other examples to where you can look at Montes Buzelis during a dead ball, grill him, and send him back out there to see if he's going to make the same mistake? There is not one way to coach this young player. And that goes back to what I said at the start of everything. You grilled all the young guys. Nikola Vucevic versus the San Antonio Spurs was horrible. Jalen Smith changed that game. And instead of riding Jalen Smith to finish the game, you put Vooch back out there, and we ultimately lost the game. And last point, Sal, this is how you know that the coach, this is how you know when a coach has the pulse of his team. We looking at one of our other teams in Chicago, different sport, different circumstances. But after every goalpost that was moved for the Chicago Bears win throughout this season, what did Ben Johnson say? We will never apologize for winning, but we understand we have to get better. And he grilled this team for winning basketball games instead of celebrating the win with these young guys and then saying, hey, we still have to get better.
Yeah, that's powerful, man. Yeah, that's just the separation of a coach like Ben Johnson and a coach like Billy Donovan, man. I wholeheartedly agree. Everybody, top to bottom, no matter what your paycheck is, deserves to be grilled the same way. You know what I mean? If you're doing a bad job, you're doing a bad job. You need to know about it because your actions dictate the outcome of the game and your locker room presence, which it sounds like the locker room is in shambles right now because it's almost impossible that a team that was riding such, and I'm not just talking about winning games, putting up good stats, playing fundamental basketball for 5, I'll give it 7 games because you know what, those two Knicks games, we still played good basketball, but then just to fall off a cliff and nothing, like it looks like a completely different team. So I wholeheartedly agree with that. Scotty B, what do you think of Billy?
He continues not to ride the hot hand. The fact that I think it was the Pelicans game when Modest started like 7 for 15 and he was killing it. He benched him and kept Patrick Williams out there. Like, what are you doing? Patrick Williams has been like, he started good at the beginning. He is terrible right now. Like, he does not seem to understand about keeping the hot player out there. Like he'll randomly do it, but then he'll just revert back. He'll like do it for 2 games and then just revert back. The Spurs game pissed me off. Like I can't believe he benched Smith. It blew my mind. Like he was the only reason we are back in that game. And we kept going at Wembanyama and then we just stopped. Like, why are you changing your game plan when it's working?
Yep. And then you want to know what made it even more funnier? The game winner that Wemby hits, Nikola Vucevic goes to the podium and say, I'm not even sure he sees me. What? You're 7 feet. What are you talking about? That's something I should say. What? Crazy.
Yeah, honestly, like that was one of my, because I've been doing the 3 keys to every game lately. I haven't been because work has been crazy, but one of my keys was take it to Wemby. You know what I mean? Take it to Wemby. At the very least, get him in foul trouble and take him out of the game. They were doing exactly that. I think he had 4 fouls with 9 minutes left of the third quarter, and they kept him out there. San Antonio was like, okay, I'm going to keep him out there. This team needs Wemby to be out there. But then what happened? For whatever reason, the Bulls deviated from that plan, and they elected to go back to their shooting ways, ignoring Wemby, not slapping a body on him or not covering him close enough. And the man erupts for a massive fourth quarter, including the game winner, which just unacceptable. Now, my question is, I can understand why Billy would want Vooch out on the floor, okay? But if Jalen Smith has got the hot hand, why have we been not seeing much double big this year? I understand we have a lack of big men, and it greatly affects the lineup, but in situations where we're playing a Wemby, where we need every single offensive rebound, because right now the Bulls are sitting 23rd in the league at offensive rebounds. Bobby, why have we not seen the double big lineup this year?
Billy Donovan that's how Billy Donovan operates on the sideline. Lost for words, lost for solutions. Exactly like that. When we seen, this goes back to when Zach LaVine was said, Zach LaVine will be on the heater. Billy Donovan's like, oh my God, you're too hot. Go take a chill pill. And it's just like the same, it's the same thing. And then like Scott said it best. Nikola Vucevic is not bought into this team. I was in the preseason, just me and myself and C-Dub. I'm like, I don't care if you can't trade him. Buy him out. Get him out of here. He is not bought into this team. It shows. Scott came up with stated the point of, you see that within the first few minutes, he's annoyed and not focused. And the double big lineup, I don't know why we're not seeing it, because teams keep killing us on the glass and in the paint. There's games to where I think we're giving up a league leading 56 points in the paint a game. And like, I don't understand it. You don't want Montes you would rather put Isaac Okoro out there as a 4 than to put Jalen Smith out there to help with some of the rebounds. Like, it's ridiculous. I don't know if you want to wait for Zach Collins to come back, but Lachlan Obridge played some minutes last night and he looked pretty good. So you have options, dude. Get it together.
Yeah. Huge shout out to that Bulls bench. Emmanuel Miller came in, played solid minutes. Stephen Olbrich, solid minutes. I mean, we do have options out there. So I cannot wait to see what this team looks like when we start playing our guys like that. It's incredible to me that the double big lineup worked last season. It worked very well, and this season we just shied away from it. Jalen Smith comes into ball games and he changes the game. Not even offensively, just his down low presence. Yes. He's fighting for every single rebound. And might I add, Jalen Smith is also one of the only players that I see on the offensive end that is going in the paint. He's not just standing on the perimeter waiting for a shot. Like, is it my turn to shoot? No, he's down low. He's like, give me the ball. You know what I mean? Scotty B.
I asked that question too.
Scotty B, why haven't we seen double big?
Maybe Billy thinks we are playing double big when Patrick Williams is out there. I don't know. He started him at center. So maybe he just doesn't know. But it makes no sense. And Vooch doesn't know how to get an offensive rebound. The person that's getting offensive rebound is Ayo Dosunmu and Josh Giddey and Modest Buzelis, because they're cutting to the baskets after shots. Vooch isn't trying to get those. So I don't know, but we've seen it before. We've run it for the last like 3 years and no one could drive on us. And then we go, hey, we're going to run only guards for 20 minutes and see what happens. So I don't know what Billy's thinking, but this team's not built for double big, because we have 3 big guys and that's it. Unless you count Giddey is a big.
Yeah. 6'8".
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's just, we're not built for double big, and it's stupid because we only draft guards and only pick up guards or small centers.
Minus the last few years where we're just getting, 6'10" small forward, power forwards.
Yeah, and it doesn't make any sense. And I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. Noah Essengate does not belong in the G League. I'm just saying.
No, he needs minutes. I agree 100%. Actually, let's touch on that. He's basically a man amongst boys in the G League. I mean, I've seen some of his stat sheets, and this man isn't playing like an 18-year-old kid. This man is like dominating on our team. With the team playing some I'll call them bottom of the barrel teams. I think at one point that we're playing teams where they've only had 3 wins. Well, now more because they've played us. But why haven't we seen more minutes from Noah Essengate? Do you think Billy's coaching style of having the rookie have his, what do you call it, like the rookie where you play minimal minutes because you're a rookie? Do you think that's working out, or do you think he needs to put that aside and give this kid his minutes?
I think he doing the same thing that he did to Noah that he did with Montes Buzelis last year when we were like, man, give this man an opportunity. If these guys are going to play like crap, at least let us see the young guys, you know what I'm saying, receive an opportunity so they can prove themselves. Now, I will say when he did receive some minutes a couple games ago, that's Noah Essengate, he looked a little starstruck or like a deer in headlights per se. But I would say challenge him and put him out there again. That's what I would say. You're not getting much out of these guys right now. They're not playing to the same level that we seen them at the start of the season. And right now, the team needs bigs out there, and Noah Essengate is big. Plus, he is known for his defense. Put that young guy out there, and at least if you can't count on his offense, once he gets comfortable, the defense will be a presence that you can have on the basketball court. Allow the young fella to grow through trial and error.
You need to play. It's a simple concept. In order to get better, you need to play. As much as I know that there's a lot of talents in the G League, I know that when you're a young man and you're playing in the G League, it's a different atmosphere than when you step on the court with a Zion Williamson, a Wemby, the stars of this league. Because his first game up, we played the Pelicans, and he got thrown out there. Welcome to the NBA. You're defending Zion Williamson, the one-man wrecking crew. You know what I mean? And yeah, he didn't play so well, but at the same time, it's his first game up. He needs minutes. He needs consistent playing time to get better, so that he's not so starstruck now. He's a little bit more used to it. So I agree. Scotty B, why haven't we seen Essengate?
Was he hurt last game?
Yeah.
Is that why he didn't play?
Yeah,
Okay.
he was hurt, but
He kind of like you guys said, he seemed starstruck. He seemed a little lost, but that's Billy's motive is, well, the veterans need to be out there. Patrick Williams needs minutes, clearly. But
your paycheck dictates your playing time.
Pretty much. I would love to see him more. I think he's going to struggle all year just because he's so thin and just, I don't know if he's ready for this speed of the game. But yeah, there's no need for him to be in the G League. You can get him minutes. There's plenty of minutes to go around for this team right now. If he gets comfortable, we saw what he did in Germany. He was blocking everybody. That's all we need. Just stay down low and block people. Just get in front of people. That's it. And I think he can do it. He's long enough. He's athletic enough. He can do it. So I hope he starts getting minutes. I still think we should have drafted Derek Queen because that guy is nasty, but we're doing what we can. And I think Noah will turn out to be a decent player if he can get some meat on his bones. Turn out to like the KD. I need the KD to start bulking up and we'll see what happens.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Honestly, on draft night, I'd never heard of Noah Essengate. I knew Derek Queen. I knew all these other, and why we elected to go with him. Now, granted, I'm not hating on this Noah Essengate. I'm really happy we picked him up. But if we're going to pick him up, play him, man. Like if you want to develop this guy, he needs to play, like I said earlier. So with that said, because Billy doesn't want to play him and all this, do you think that it's time that the Bulls look away from Billy Donovan? I don't want to say, do you think the man should be fired, but do you think that man has ran his welcome out?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the Bulls and with Billy Donovan in the front office, because to the whole Derek Queen conversation, Billy Donovan, again, to the media, told everybody that he was tasked to watch Derek Queen before the draft, and he had a really good idea of how he could fit with the team. But they went other places. I don't necessarily know if this organization is going to get rid of Billy Donovan anytime soon, me personally. I think these guys are comfortable where they are. Now they have the Billy Donovan is a Hall of Fame coach moniker that they can that they can tilt their hat on. We have a Hall of Fame coach in the building. But I'm like, guys, he ain't do nothing in Chicago. All that success is from mostly college, So it's like, okay, whatever. But as much as we all want in Chicago to see a change at the head coach's spot, the reality is that it's not much that you can believe that decision is going to be made to let him go, unfortunately.
Yeah. Which is wild because I referenced this a while ago, but I'm going to reference it again. There was a coach that brought his team to the Eastern Conference Finals and still got fired. Billy Donovan has yet to win a first round of the playoffs, and he's the longest tenured coach in Chicago. It's wild. Tom Thibodeau literally brought his team to the Eastern Conference Finals and for whatever reason was dismissed from his job, but yet we have a coach that can barely bring this team to the playoffs.
Him, Mike Malone.
And we're dismissed.
Mike Malone's a champion. And then what was the guy name in Memphis? Taylor Jenkins?
Tim Jenkins.
Something like
Taylor
that.
Jenkins too.
Yeah. He had more playoff success than Billy Donovan as well. And those guys was let go. What has Billy Donovan done
was
up
fired
until this
too?
point?
Yeah, Budenholzer. Yeah, NBA champion. I mean, like, there's so many good candidates. The sad reality is, I think that, and this is just my opinion, I think that, I don't want to say that we're in panic mode, okay, but I think that the front office sees how desperate that the fans are now paying attention that that this organization is going sideways. And I think they know that dismissing a coach will put a bigger setback on us and put us further back from getting in the playoffs. So I'm assuming that they're just trying to plug and play and see what works. But maybe if they have a talented team, they won't have to worry about the coach because the players will do all the winning for them. But as we've clearly seen, that's really not the case right now because I'm not seeing a lack of talent. I'm seeing a lack of coachability, if that makes any sense. You know what I mean?
It makes a lot of sense to me because when you talk about some of the coaches getting the best out of their young groups, we thought the Phoenix Suns was going to be terrible. They're better than the Bulls right now. They better than the Bulls right now. And you just need a coach to provide you with some type of direction. Eric Spoelstra is one of the best coaches in the NBA, and he never, I wouldn't never say never, but the last few years he didn't have the greatest amount of talent. He worked with what he had and got the best out of his guys. Has Billy Donovan done that?
No. I had a lot of, you know what, I'll give you this, and that's a great comparison because when Eric Spoelstra came in and started coaching, he was blessed with three of the greatest players at their position on one team. So when he was winning championships, I'm like, big deal. You know what I mean? If you give me LeBron, Bush, and D-Wade, and a few other future Hall of Famers on the bench, I could win a title, me sitting here. It wasn't until after everyone left where Eric Spoelstra was still continuing to be a good coach. And even when he had, and it takes a lot to wrangle a player like Jimmy Butler, because as we know, Jimmy Butler can be kind of a head case, but when you can wrangle a Jimmy Butler and still make this that franchise a successful franchise, like Eric Spoelstra, he needs to be commended more. Like he is.
Agreed.
He is a coach's coach right there. So, gentlemen, we've said all the negativity that we want. Now let's start marching towards what can we do to improve this team? Bobby, I want to know, is there a particular player, particular aspect of the game that you think that we can improve on and maybe turn the season around before it goes south?
The first day first is going to be the same thing I've been saying all offseason. Nikola Vucevic, get him out of here. I will come help pack his bags. Literally. I will come help pack his bags. This team is not going to be a great defensive team, but what can help cover up that those deficiencies when it comes to playing defense is if you have a defensive-minded center who can also then on the offensive side be a lob threat or a presence in the paint for the Chicago Bulls. That's number one. Number two, I need to know what Billy Donovan is telling Montes Buzelis because for some strange reason, Montes Buzelis is just chilling in the corner spot of the three. That's it. I understand his handle is not the tightest, but he got moves. He has the athleticism. Why have we seen less and less of him driving to the basket? It makes no sense. So then we need that. And then I think that we could start moving in the right direction, because right now Nikola Vucevic is not bought in. We all said that. And then we need more out of Montes Buzelis. I think Josh Giddey and Kobe White, I think they've been doing a decent job. I think that's going to continue to get better as well when Kobe White is able to play more often. But I think that the two biggest problems is, what is my coach saying in the center position?
Beautiful. Damn, that was both mine. I have to think of new one now. Scotty B, what can help this team besides a miracle?
I believe Zach Collins should be coming back either this week or next week. So hopefully we see Vooch sit down more. But last time that happened, Sticks just didn't play for like 15 games. So we'll see what happens. At the beginning of the year, I was on the let's just re-sign Vooch. We're not going to get anything better. But at this point, I'm fine just letting him walk or buy him out. If Collins comes back to anything he was last year, just buy him out. Let him go sign somewhere. Let him go to the Celtics or something.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Facts.
But really, I think if we get more young players to buy in and to be cohesive, like when they were winning, they were all together. They were celebrating together. And I think this losing streak is just taking such a toll on the young players because they're not used to being this, like, playing so well and then just completely falling off a cliff. So I think Billy just needs to get everybody back together. Really, we need more winning players like Io. We need more players to start holding each other accountable. And I think that's not really happening. And then turnovers, there's too many bad passes. How often are we seeing just a pass just straight out of bounds, or let's just try to make this ridiculous pass where it's just straight to another player? So control the turnovers, stop throwing the ball out of bounds, and start holding each other accountable.
Good areas there. Good areas. One thing I've noticed, and I'm glad you mentioned it, Scott, is because when we were on our 5-game skid, I told everyone, I want to see what this team looks like after their first loss. Because when you are on a win streak, confidence is high. Everyone's in a good mood. The locker room's a great place to be. You hold your head a little higher. I want to see how this team rebounds from a loss. And we finally got our first loss at the hands of the New York Knicks. And I'm like, all right, you know what? I thought it was a fluke because there's no way you're going to smack them around at home and then go to the Garden and have your way with them. It wasn't going to happen. So I'm like, all right, that's a loss. But what did we do? We rebounded the next game with a win, albeit it was one of those wins where you had to fight tooth and nail and hit a ridiculous game winner to win. But we still recuperated and won the game. We handled business. But then since then, it's been loss after loss and all these easy teams that we played. I told you before we got in here, 5 of the last 6 teams that were on our schedule were desperately in the losing column, with only the Orlando Magic, who we're playing tomorrow, having a winning record. And somehow the Bulls still have managed to lose 4 out of their last 5 games, which is unheard of. Again, these are teams that we need to be handling way better. But the reason why we're not is because we're making silly turnovers. We're not playing as a cohesive unit. Here's the thing that I know that we're number 1 in pace, but at the same time, we should not be afraid to slow the game down when we need to. I think a lot of our failure comes when we have a big deficit. The Bulls are just in a hurry to go down the court and make something happen that we end up turning the ball over. You know what? You have 48 minutes a game. If you're down by 12 in the second quarter, you got 36 or you got 30 minutes a game left to play. You don't need to get that deficit back all in one possession. So slow the game down, take better passes, crash the board. If anybody on this team besides Jalen Smith know what that means, get those rebounds, and let's just have better emotional spirits. Stop making our problems known to the media. If there's locker room problems, do your post game with Casey Johnson, say, hey, wins win, I'm just happy we got the win. Then you go in the locker room and you let people know it. Don't air your dirty laundry for the world to hear, because what's that going to do? That's going to deter other players from wanting to come here. Why would I want to go play in Chicago? It's a dumpster fire. You know what I mean?
And
go ahead. Oh yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say it's everybody can see Nikola Vucevic doesn't want to be there. If we see it on a basketball court, don't you guys think that he's isolating himself? Well, we can predict or assume that he's isolating himself amongst these young players instead of trying to provide good veteran leadership. Because, and I don't really like singling them out, but when you see an issue, you gotta call it how you see it. I don't like picking on them, but if my veteran leader or the guy that's supposed to be the leader is supposed to be showing us the way and trying to provide us with some type of energy or hold us accountable. But then he turns and go on the basketball court and he's not displaying anything that he's preaching or upset about. How should we expect these young players to respond like they have all season long once they started losing? No energy. How do you lose to these teams and then you proceed to come out with no energy? It's just
you need to come out with
unacceptable, bro.
fire. If
It's
you lose to,
unacceptable.
if you have an embarrassing loss, you need to come out with fire the next game. We
Agreed.
come out flat foot. And I want you guys to notice this because it's something that I kind of took notice the last couple of games. If the game's on the line and the game's getting tough, who do you usually see talking to everyone on the sideline? I or Giddy. Next time, tomorrow we play the Magic, pay attention to where Vooch is during those conversations. He's sitting far back on not on the bench, but he's back in the crowd. All the players are huddled around and he's back because he doesn't look like he cares. Doesn't look like he's invested. It's almost like Vooch knows, hey, my time's up after this year. I'm getting the hell out of Dodge. So whatever you guys want to do, just tell me what to do. And don't sell yourself short because I noticed that too. I can only assume that if he's alienated on the court, he's not mingling with the crowd or with the players in the locker room. He's doing his own thing. But there's a big, and that's the sad thing is Josh Giddey's 23 years old. He's been on this team 1 year. Vooch has been on this team last few years, veteran, oldest, one of the oldest guys on this team. He should be the one wrangling his crew and getting them ready to fight and go to battle, but he's dissociated and it's kind of embarrassing.
It is.
Scotty B?
Yeah, I haven't been paying attention. I've just been pissed usually when they're having those timeouts. So I really haven't been paying attention, but I'm not surprised that Io is trying to lead this team or Giddy's trying to lead this team. They're young players, but they want to win. So they're trying to push people as hard as they can. And you're starting to see it with some other players like Modest is trying to get more involved. But again, I don't think he's being put into the position that he should be to become the leader of this team. He's not really being groomed to take this team over. And that's a huge issue for a guy that has shown that he can easily score 30 points a game if needed. Mm-hmm. And I haven't seen it this year. Like, I'm kind of surprised when he gets over 10, 12 points now because he's just not getting put in that position. So I just don't know what the game plan is at all, ever.
He hits enough game winners to keep him on the roster. That's about it. That's his only thing, his only saving grace right now. So we would need do you think that we're good with the big men that we got, or would you mind trading? Because there's been a lot of rumors out there. Number one being AD, which we said we're not too thrilled about. If it happens, it almost looked like a news headline more than reality. I noticed that in Sacramento they're having some problems, and that Sabonis could be on the move, and they said that a lot of players on that team are up for grabs with the exception of two. Do you think that the Bulls have the assets, or do you have the desire to trade for a Domantas Sabonis? Maybe he could help.
I don't.
No? Okay.
Yeah, similar to Vooch for me. He just can't space the floor. And I don't necessarily need my center to always space the floor much, but I'm looking for more of a defensive-minded center. And I think that the Bulls right now, when I look at the front office that wants to hold on to their assets and not necessarily, and me personally, I think they looking forward to 2026. In the offseason, that's all they talked about was 2026. You know what I mean? So right now, they probably just upstairs chilling and not giving a damn how us Chicago Bulls fans feel for watching this team. You said it early on. We just want a product that we can enjoy. No one in their right mind is like the Bulls are going to the finals. We know that. But that don't mean we want to sit up here, turn on our TVs, and watch crap. That's it. Yeah. We don't want to watch crap. But when it comes to Sabonis and AD, I'll pass.
Yeah. Yeah, I know that. I wasn't too high on the AD thing. I mean, the only thing that I liked was like, anytime a former superstar is like on the move, it's like, it would be cool if he played, in Chicago. But to spend the money that we'd have to spend and to, he's really not going to be as productive as we think. I'm going to pass on AD, and I'm the same with Sabonis. I think he's just going to be more of a name than a product. And I think when he gets here, it's not going to transcend into play. Scotty B. I'll tell you what, Scotty B, and then I'll come back to you, Bobby. Is there a player out there that center that you would you wouldn't mind having on the team that you think is obtainable, could help turn this around?
Really, I kind of want to see what Zach Collins does, just because of the way he came in last year. And it seemed like he's all in on defense and he'll die for the ball and he'll try his hardest. And we really haven't seen anybody like play like that. So I want to say Zach Collins, and hopefully we don't have to move anybody, but not really. I don't really want us to make any trades. Like, as bad as it sounds, I'm kind of with the front office of washing this year. Like, I don't think we're gonna. This was our chance, and the way this team is built, as much as we were talking about how their bench has great depth, I just don't see them going very far. Like, they may make the play in. They'll probably make the play in, but we'll see. But also, maybe the front office just watched Cam Boozer at the United Center and it's like, we need to lose everything.
Man,
so who knows?
As much as you guys want Cam Boozer, I still want Debanza, man. I know Cam Boozer's tearing it out, but like, man, something about AJ Debanza, I'm like, man, he would look good in a Bulls jersey. So now that, we're done with that, looking forward to the future here. We got the Orlando Magic tomorrow. This episode will come out on Tuesday. So what we like to do is voice our predictions and see if we're right once we're listening to this on Tuesdays. Bobby, I'll give you first ups here. What do you think's going to happen during the Orlando Magic game? Do you think we walk out with a win, or do you think just another L?
I think it's gonna be another L. That's just me personally. I don't know if the Chicago Bulls reignite themselves or something suddenly changes. You hear all out, post games, the coach is telling us to do it, but we're not doing it, and it's just bigger issues. And I think that those will be there. Now if Zach Collins is able to play, I'll pick the Chicago Bulls to win personally, because I think that he's going to be able to provide some type of energy for this young team, because I think that they desperately need energy coming from their big. Because everybody knows that when you are able to, like, when you play basketball and one of your big guys is able to get a block, get a dunk, give you another opportunity for another shot on a possession, those bring life into you. And right now, the center that we have that's garnering most of the minutes at the center spot, it's not infusing energy in anything.
Mm-hmm.
He don't even walk in the stadium with energy.
Mm-hmm.
So I will go unless Zach Collins plays.
All right. Is Ice gonna play? Because I haven't seen Ice in like 4 games.
So who?
Isaac?
Kobe White? Oh,
no, Okoro.
No, I don't know.
He should be playing against the Magic, but Paulo should be out.
Okay. So then that's going to be even more of a struggle, because usually when the other team is shorthanded is when we struggle. Cue the Detroit Pistons game. Cue the Detroit Pistons. Do you think it's a blowout, or do you think we keep it interesting like the last few games?
I think it'll be close.
Close. All right, cool. Scotty B, what do you think?
Well, apparently we play better against good teams, so we'll see. But I think it'll be a close game. I don't think it'll be a blowout, but I really hope it's not a blowout. I just really hope it's not a blowout, but we'll see. If Zach Collins is playing that game, I think there is going to be some more energy. The big thing is they need to stop coming out, going down 10 points in the first 5 minutes. And if they can actually come out hot, I think we can win this game. It's a very winnable game, but you never know which team what Bulls team's going to show up.
Right.
So we'll see, but I want to say win. I'm going to say win.
Okay.
And then I'm going to bet against the Bulls.
Yeah. I have this guy at work that every time he bets on the Bulls, we lose. And every time he bets on the other teams, he wins. So I'm going to tell him, hey, here's $20. Bet on the other team for me real quick. This is going to be a hard one, because I think we can win this game. I mean, I can understand why we don't. But the one X factor is going to be the man that we've been mentioning all episode. Vooch has some big games against his former team. I don't know if it's just a chip on his shoulder, but he always comes out swinging against his former team. And if he comes out swinging, and if the Bulls can come out and play fundamental basketball, I don't need to see flashy game. I don't need to see a game of alley-oops and flashy passes and all that. I just need to see a fundamental game. Take care of the ball, slow it down when you need to, and drive the lane instead of settling for the 3. I say it's a very winnable game. Definitely take advantage of Paulo being out of the lineup. Take it to the rack. Get their team in foul trouble. Get your free throws. And actually, more recently, make your free throws. But I think that the Bulls can walk out with a win. I'm going to say less than 10 points in overtime.
We're going to OT.
I want to watch basketball, man. I don't want to see
Keep
this.
saying OT.
The one game I didn't say OT, and they go into double OT.
Right, crazy.
But yeah, I'm gonna say we win in OT, and I hope we win because I'm tired of losing, man. I'm tired of these like games where it's like you're down 20. Realistically, you should be able to shut the game off and enjoy the rest of your day and just chalk it up as another L. But then you keep watching, and suddenly we're back to within 5 points,
Which is crazy.
It's insane. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. We'll see what happens tomorrow against the Orlando Magic. Hopefully we're right. Bobby, thank you for joining us today. I love having guests, and I couldn't think of better guests than you. I would have loved if C-Dub would have been on, but we the technical difficulties.
Right.
As you know, every guest that comes on the show, we can't let them go without playing a game of Horns or Thorns. If you're not familiar with Horns or Thorns it's basically yes or no, buy or sell, agree or disagree. If you agree with it, you say Horns. If you disagree, you say Thorns. I got 5 questions here, so if you're ready, Scotty B, I'll let you chime in too if you want to, just so. All right, ready? Question number 1. Despite the Bulls having a rough patch, you still see a playoff picture in the future.
I'm going to go Thorns. We going to the play-in where we belong.
Okay.
And then we going home.
And then Miami's going to come into town and send us back.
Miami going to go in and show us. Bro, because every time Eric Spoelstra, he coaches circles around Billy Donovan. Every time.
So really our only chance of making the playoffs is we got to hope that Miami Heat will make the playoff comfortably. If they finish top 4, we'll be in better shape.
Shot.
Scotty B.
I think this might be the year that we actually don't make the playoffs.
Ooh.
The way
okay.
if there's no changes in this roster, I think this isn't the year we make the playoffs.
So not even a play-in sighting?
No.
Okay.
Sheesh.
I really think the way they've been playing, if there's no changes, not a chance. If Zach Collins comes back and actually plays like he was is able to take minutes away from Vooch and hopefully not Sticks, I think we can make the play-in and hopefully just skip the Magic, but we know that's not going to happen.
As long as we don't play the Heat, like we said earlier. But all right.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Sorry.
Question number 2. We kind of touched on it, but I wrote these questions before the show. So question number 2. You will realistically see the departure of Nikola Vucevic from this franchise at some point this season.
Horns, and we sounding them loud. Get them out of here. If you need to call me up and help pack a bag, I'll be there in a flash. Come on.
Just send the address. What do you think, trade or buyout?
Trade. The Bulls, they're gonna try to get something.
Yeah. Hey, mad props. If you can get something from them, sure. At this point, I'll take a Gatorade water cooler. Especially
send 2 of them. I mean,
2 of them.
Be good.
We got a lot of contracts that we need to pay for next year, and I wouldn't mind having 20 mil off the books. So Scotty B, he leaves this year, and you're gonna go help him pack.
He's leaving in the offseason. The Bulls are gonna pretend to try to make trades, and we're gonna hear a bunch of rumors, and then nothing will happen.
You making me sad, Scott.
And then
You making me sad.
He'll pout his way to the play-in. I know it sucks because it's the same thing every year. I'm just trying to think how many teams really want to trade for a 35-year-old center that tries sometimes.
Yeah.
Sal, I changed my mind. Let's buy him out. Let's buy him out.
Yeah. How much does it cost to start a GoFundMe for this? I feel
For
like
real. Hey.
All right. Question number 3. We're moving away from basketball because Bobby, you say you're a big football fan. So moving on to the brighter side of suffering with the Chicago Bears. Bears got a huge game coming up this Sunday. Or was it Sunday?
Sunday.
We play our neighbors to the north. The only 2 games of the season that matter. We play the Green Bay Packers. Horns or Thorns, Caleb Williams and crew are going in and coming out with a dub.
Sal and Scotty, there's federal law, state law, county law, and Chicago fan law. I will never pick the Packers to beat the Bears. Ever. So, Horns, we winning.
All right. I picked us to win, too,
I
just
can't
out of the
do it.
momentum.
I can't do
No. No. Big blowout game or another win by
Hey, we
field
already
goal?
got 1 win in 2025 over them. Why can't we have another one?
Shoot, we are undefeated in the year 2025 against the Packers. Scotty B, who's winning? Don't deflate this blimp, man. Don't deflate it.
Hey,
We're riding high.
You can't steal my joy on this one. We good.
No. The Packers have such a dog shit run defense that if we basically go in like we did with the Eagles, I don't think there's a chance. I don't know if we're going to be able to stop Jordan Love because it's Toyotathon. And I don't know if you guys have heard the whole Toyotathon Jordan Love thing, but it's crazy. Like, he has 2 interceptions during Toyotathon, and it's like he's like 30 touchdowns to 2 interceptions the last like
crazy.
3 years. It's crazy. But I think their defense isn't good enough. And if we can, I think we'll be fine. I think we win this game. A couple of weeks ago, if you asked me, I would have said we got our ass kicked. But the last 2 weeks, it's just, you keep seeing adjustments of how the game plan is, and it's not the same game plan every week. So we actually have a coach that actually can scheme and look at what the defense is. And I'm just saying, I can't see Billy Donovan taking his shirt off at the locker room after a win for free hot dogs for the city.
That is good. With that, how do you follow that up?
Right? I was going to add something in, but you got it, Scott. You got that one.
I don't even want to take, well, first off, it's freezing in here. I wouldn't even take my shirt off for that. So kudos to Ben Johnson. Question 4, and this is looking more realistic every game we play. Question 4, the Chicago Bears finally make the playoffs, and I'll add, we go pretty deep in the playoffs.
Horns, sound the horns, sound the horns. And it's not just because I'm being a fan. It's because I watch football and I understand. When you go on the road and dominate the reigning Super Bowl champions who this season beat the Los Angeles Rams, the Detroit Lions, the Green Bay Packers, and stacked up victories, some tough ones too. You dominate them, that lets me know you running a different style of offense over here. And that's why I'm looking at Sunday's matchup versus the Green Bay Packers as must watch, because the Detroit Lions screwed up on Thanksgiving because they wanted to run sideline to sideline instead of going up and punching the guys in the face. We just punched the Eagles in the face. Y'all think we not trying to punch some cheese heads in the face? Ring the horns. Let's go.
Energy, man.
Y'all get me fired up.
If this
I
is the energy,
my Bulls, but okay.
We got to do a Bears episode now. I just love the energy from this last 10 minutes alone, man. Scotty B, continue raining in on that positive energy. Are we making the playoffs?
Oh, yeah. The only teams that I think are better than the Bears are the Seahawks, Rams, and New England right now. No one else. I don't see any other team being able to beat us.
In the NFC?
Just period. In the NFL. The way we're playing right now, I would say we're a top 4 team.
I like it. Even with the Colts, the Broncos, all those teams?
I don't think the Colts are that good. The Broncos, I don't trust them. But they score like 12 points a game and win.
Defense is good.
Defense is good.
Yeah.
All right.
But those Rams and the Seahawks, they are scary. Those are the only teams really I'm worried about. But I think we can make it to the NFC Championship, if not the Super Bowl, if we're still playing with this confidence.
Woo! Get me fired up. See? That's what I be talking about.
I think, man, now you got me all excited too. I'm going to add one more bonus, Horns or Thorns. And realistically speaking, do you think we sweep the Packers this year?
I know that there's state law, federal law, and all the law, but it has to be a realistic aspect to it. I'm going to say no for now until I see what happens Sunday. But Ben Johnson, when he was introduced as Chicago Bears head coach, said he enjoyed beating Matt LaFleur 2 times a year. So I'm letting you know what my expectations are, but I'm going to be realistic for right now. Say it's a thorn, not no. I'm going to say no for now. I got to calm down.
Scotty B, what do you got?
I'm going to say a thorn, but when Gardner Johnson goes in and breaks Jordan Love's leg next week, we'll see.
Just kidding. State law, federal law, now martial. Yeah. Jeez. All right. Hey, man, Bears defense are big on injury and pack. I mean, Leonard Floyd broke Aaron Rodgers' collarbone. Everyone I talk to about that, they're like, yeah, I have that picture framed. Like, I have that picture in my house. All right.
That's crazy.
All right, good. And last question. This is a fun one. Portillo's beef sandwich is the most overrated Italian beef sandwich in the city of Chicago.
I wouldn't say it's overrated, though. I wouldn't say it's overrated, but I definitely it's a spot Southside Chicago called Gyro 47. I don't know. They be doing something to me every time. They do it every time. But I ain't going to say Portillo's overrated. I'm gonna say they appropriately rated.
All right.
They goated.
Gyro 47. Where's that on?
It's on like 47 in King Drive. Get in and
Okay.
get out. Sit. Get in and get out. That's it.
Do they DoorDash up to the north suburbs here?
Oh, I don't know. That'd be a hefty price though.
I'll pay it if you say it's that
I
good.
heard Al's is pretty good. I think that song
I
like
love Al's.
Yeah, Al's. I heard that's pretty good.
On Taylor, I love Al's, man. That was my spot. Mr. Beef, I love Mr. Beef, but I don't know. I mean, I'm a big Al's fan because they're jardiniere, man. That hot jardiniere
it's really
is
good.
beautiful.
Yep.
Scotty B, I already know you're big Portillo's fans. You're already pissed off at me for saying that.
No, Portillo's is fine. It's
Yeah, it is.
it's a tourist spot.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Yep.
Agree.
It's not bad food. It's just not the best.
Right. Yeah.
I think
All
that's fair.
That's a good one. What was your spot? I know you like the local stuff.
I don't know. It changes randomly. If I go to Portillo's, I'm getting
like
a hot
that too.
dog.
Oh yeah. What do you think is the best hot dog in Chicago? I'm a big fan of Wiener Circle.
Me?
Yeah, everybody. Everybody.
I don't know. I don't really eat hot dogs too much nowadays. Not gonna lie to you.
I try to stay away.
Mostly in the summer. Throw them on the grill, feed them to the kids, and then eat one just for fun. But other than that, I don't really eat them too often.
I already know what Scott's gonna say. Best hot dog. What is it?
What are you gonna say? Home Depot? Is that what you're saying?
Home Depot has got the best hot dog. Yeah. Nothing tastes better after you're in there. Have a million questions. Nobody that works there can answer those questions.
Right.
You're all stressed out. Nothing hits harder than leaving the checkout lane and seeing the smiling face of the food vendor ready to serve you up the best hot dog you've ever had.
Let's go.
Well, gentlemen, unfortunately, this episode is we have to draw it to a close here. I'm having way too much fun. I love all the positive energy coming from the back half. All we needed is the Bears to ignite some love for this spot.
Right.
But Bobby, as a participant of Horns or Thorns, you win some uninterrupted FaceTime. So go ahead and address everybody how you will. Whatever you got on your mind, spill. Whether it's state law, federal law, we want Bobby's law. Martial law, we want Bobby's law.
I just want to say thank you guys, man, for bringing me on. Sal and Scott, it was good. Linking up, talking our Bulls, talking a little bit of Bears, and even some martial law. So it's been fun, man. It's always a pleasure, man. It's always good to bring good people together, man. Even if it's just to talk about sports, that's how I operate. And I just say thank you guys. Y'all listeners, y'all make sure y'all stay tuned in. Stay dialed in with these guys. They're doing a lot of stuff, mixing it up with the trivia, giving you a little hot take stuff too. Horns and Thorns, that was actually pretty damn good and fun. So y'all make sure y'all lock in with that. And y'all fellas continue to do y'all thing and keep growing, man. It's just whatever you do, just keep doing it for the fun, man. Because there's nothing wrong with having some fun.
Much love. Thank you so much. Yeah, no, what my goal, it used to be to get as many followers as possible, but now the goal is just to honestly provide the best content for people. And honestly, number one goal is to be still podcasting when the Bulls win their next championship.
Hopefully.
Whether I'm alive or
I
not.
hope we're all there. Seriously.
Yeah, no kidding. It'll be one big show.
Yeah, because I've been podcasting a bit. We've been doing the Bears podcast for 4 years now. This is our first winning season of 4 years of podcasting. So we've been doing that all out of love. All out of love. 10-game losing streak last year. God.
That's safe to say you got to have a lot of love to be a Chicago sports, not just a fan, but just to create content from it.
Agree.
A lot of people some people ask me at work, like, what's the hardest part about podcasts? I'm like, the hardest part about podcasting, honestly, it's despite how bad your team is, you still go out there and produce a product, man. Because there's times where I want to shut the games off. Like, I'm done with this. And it's like, nah, I love this team too much.
Agreed.
Scotty B, as an honorable mention, the Horns or Thorns, what do you got for everybody?
Hey, man, I threatened to turn this into a Pistons podcast several times after watching those games.
He did. I said it, man. I said it. I'm like, the Detroit Pistons this year are going to be the Cleveland Cavaliers of last year. So far, that's panning out.
They're a lot of fun, man.
Yeah.
And those bigs over there, I'm so jealous. Jalen Duren, and then you got Isaiah Stewart, another loose screw coming off the bench. Why can't we have nice things?
Hey, they didn't sign Duren.
It's crazy.
I believe Duren's a free agent after next. Well, I would hope so. That kid's good, but
especially when they see their record right now, they'll be like, hey, let's talk.
Right.
So real good. What do you got, Scott?
I got nothing. Let's hope that the Bulls start winning. It gets depressing, kind of saying the same thing over and over again. Man, last year there was some times it's like I don't know how many times I can say no one else other than Zach is scoring on this team.
Right?
Yeah, it was so hard to think of like new content for the same thing. Like,
Yeah. The Bulls are terrible, part 20.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
what?
What's wrong with the Bulls part 2, part 4, yeah.
On.
Well, Bobby, before you head out, where can everybody find you? Because I highly encourage everybody, if they're not subscribed yet, get out from under the rock you've been hiding under and go subscribe to these fellas, because this is literally the highlight of my day is watching your guys' lives. You put on a great show, man. So where can we find you?
Appreciate you guys, man, for your Bulls content. Shy Bulls podcast on YouTube and everything else. I also cover the NFL with me and my guy Steve-O. That's NFL Central. Chicago Bears. If you're a Bears fan, Chicago Bears Central. So just tune in. And if you see us and you want to follow us on X, formerly known as Twitter, you can follow us at KOGNACBOYZ. That's with a K. So that's it,
Yeah,
man.
okay.
And big thank you to you, Sal, and Scott again, man. It was fun. Thank you.
For sure. The one thing that I love about you guys' show, and this is why I tune in, like, you guys are very, very fan oriented. I've seen the rooms of your guys' live stream fill up. Like, there's a lot of people in those rooms, but you guys still manage to give everyone a shout out and give you're very fan oriented. And I respect that a lot about you guys. Because as you know,
he love that. He love interacting with the fans. He do. He love it.
That's what we do it for. So, actually, that was my question before I got on here. How did the name Cognac Boys come to play?
Because back in the day, we used to drink too much damn Hennessy. Now we don't even drink it that much. But we was just like, man, it was just us, like, when we used to hang out and watch the Bulls game before the podcast started. It was, we gonna put on for some Hennessy or Remy, and yeah, that was our go-to drink. And then as we got older and aged, we don't even drink it like that no more. But
For sure.
you
But
put
the
it
name
out every
stuck.
now and then.
Yeah. Well, for me, what do I got here is, Bulls fans, keep your head up. It's a long season. We went through a skid, but you know what? There's brighter days. And if you're in the market for brighter gear, head on over to www.denzelrange.com, where you can find a wide variety of all our great merch, including but not limited to the holidays are right around the corner. And what better than a perfect gift to give your loved one than this overstretched on me because I've gained a couple pounds, but our official Horns Over Hoops ugly Christmas sweater,
That's
available
nice,
in
too.
a couple colors. The material's not bad. This fit a lot better last year when I was a little bit more active. And, being a parent, man, you don't get to get out and exercise like you used to. So I put on some pounds. And this sweater is really stretchy. So I'm pushing it to the max.
It looks good, too.
Thank you. Yeah. So it's available in a wide variety of colors. We got promo codes coming out. So as soon as we get them, we'll release it. We got hats and other stuff. So head on over, check out our store. And we also have all our content on there too. So Bobby, once again, from the bottom of our hearts, thank you so much for joining us. We'd love to get both the Cognac Boys together sometime. Hopefully this isn't the last time that we collaborate, because these are one of our favorite episodes, or the collaboration episodes. So
Oh, yeah, you already know, man. We're going to be locked in, moving, more coming soon.
for sure, man. We'll do that Super Bowl episode
Hey, let's go.
when Caleb Williams got the Lombardi trophy.
You're doing it again.
We'll see you at that parade, man. We'll see you at the parade.
Let's do it.
With that being said, we encourage our Bulls fans and our Hornets to see red, go Bulls, and let's do the Super Bowl Shuffle 2025 edition. What do you say? Good night, everybody.